So welcome back everyone. Alternative time zone, deep at night, after midnight edition, dedication, patience, and attention to detail and stuff. At least I further automate the heck out of bisecting the kernel, right? Why is this E? I didn't even press that. Yeah, automating the heck out of bisecting news kernel regressions. Here still on the Ultra Spark 64. This is QLogic 2000 series fiber channel. This probably should work. 517. It's like, yeah, I mean, at least there is not. Yeah, mounting. So that worked. Amazing. So bisect. So that's good. Base, sock, make. So only 16 revisions left, 4 steps. And so what I further automated that for you playing along at home, legacy, FBCon, whatever, is that now I secure shall also shut down reboot, and also I added a public SSH key so that I can rsync and SSH. So building obviously cross-comp, I'm not that crazy to build on a only dual processor 1.2 gigahertz machine natively. So the epic thread-ripping cross-composes on AMD Ryzen 7950X in hopefully less than 5 minutes or so each. Then actually I can show you that. So yeah, SCP, the ID RSA pub stuff to public key there. So SSH keygen, saving that there, ID RSA in your .ssh user directory, and then here in my bisect script, which I had already from previous things. So even this, right, you don't write this overnight or in night. This is already from previous BetaFS and PS3, yes, shellac subscribe, we're constantly bisecting your other's kernel's regression, right? So improvement of improvement, and so sure we can further improve it. So this is relatively, yeah, sitting here just concentrating, but here, because yeah, previously on the P3 I didn't need the lib modules, which is because today I nearly made a mistake. I was like, kernel boot image is ready, and just need to be careful. Boot. Oh wait, what? All right, we need to. Yeah, so this I have the feeling something. So this happens now every now and then. Oh wait, what? That's it. Okay, let's see if this. Oh wait, did this? No, I lost overview. Was it good or bad? It was good, but it didn't fully boot. Which this sucks a little bit. Like if you have some surrounding system, potential system instability. However, I have the impression. So this only happens after a warm reboot. So maybe Linux somehow disturbed something in the chipset, and then this stuff isn't happy anymore. This PCI Psycho? No. So we can Psycho, whatever their code name is. Let's see if it works a second time around. So what did we boot? Okay, we booted the more stable 5.10.4 because regressions. Let's see if that boots again. So yeah. Unfortunately, a little bit time is wasted. So that's also why it's not 100% optimized yet. Like obviously, you can only optimize the out of it if it's totally perfectly stable. Otherwise, it's what. Spoiler, pro tip: if you hunt regressions, then usually stuff already isn't the most 100% top-notch stable. Yeah. Maybe I also need to how could we do that better? I mean, we could always version the stuff, but I didn't want to constantly modify the bootloader and stuff. I could, however, create a file which may or may. I mean, we could simply create a file. Initially, I was thinking a file of we built it and didn't. So yeah, now it's this rsync. You see, so without password interaction, right? So the only thing is somehow it doesn't shut down clearly. This looks like boot, fully fine. Also, Ah, shit, drop frames. Fuck you, Vodafone. So yeah, R-syncing this with a private public key pair. We could, so initially I was thinking to avoid this regenerating the init ID, which takes 20 or 30 seconds. So not the end of the world, but could be better, like if this fails for reasons. We could simply touch a file with a version number, right? Initially I said like lock and unlock, like only unlock like it built, and then like delete it when we are synced it, but that could be a little bit error prone of not deleting that or so, which, so we just are synced, so we need to boot this test kernel. I only hope I didn't make any mistakes with all this stuff, and we will have some conclusive result. Nothing worse like bisecting stuff for 3 hours and then not even have something to show for. So yeah, should I subscribe and stuff? I have to feel this probably should be yeah, actually the disks, did the disk spin up? Okay, so this version, this thing works. So then bisect, good. 8 revisions left, 3 steps. What do we have? Staging. Yeah. So yeah, bisect that, so that builds it, so yeah, that usually happens after. I mean, maybe we should better test. But I've seen this a couple of times now, and it only happens after a warm reboot. I also spent, because I was basically sitting here and like, oh, what to do at night except watching Louis Rossmann and some news. It's the latest from Russians, unprecedented war on Ukraine and stuff. What you do in this shitty times between climate crisis and stuff. I went out there to our archive and shelves. I grabbed another PCI slot cover just to optimize airflow, not just pressing out of there, but maybe a little bit, potentially just some little bit, excuse me, can it be that I work too much? A little bit more air pressure potentially through the CPU module, you never know. But it's probably not that, but better fully closed than not. Better safe than sorry. So we still, so I mean, it did work. So we're building there. So we bisected good. Maybe we better test boot that kernel does, but the Q logic 2000 worked. Everything else is only cherry on top. I also, the usual stuff. What can we optimize further? NVRAM set it also on the diagnostic level. What this was, self-test diagnostic, whatever. That was from max to min or so. Although I believe it didn't really cut much down from the power on CPU and memory initialization stuff. I mean, theoretically, I probably could change the baud rate. I usually don't do that on Sparks because, okay, that also works. Oh wait, this worked. Also, how many we have? Only, yeah, async login failed. I mean, maybe that simply is, but so this is freaking annoying. I mean, probably we ignore that. I mean, that certainly. No, we don't even have that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, surrounding instabilities, right? Like things. The only constants change and regressions. So that's funny. I mean, but maybe that is something else. Spark, because yeah, David S. Miller and me might be mostly alone. Of course, David S. Miller did all the work. I'm only using it, so how are you doing? We're doing fine, except we constantly need to fix other people's bugs. So how to further optimize this, automate this? The next automation would be also we built this and need to copy that. Should we actually maybe we script that too, just to optimize a little bit. So the next thing would be to, because right now I have the serial console on my workstation, not on the build server. I could directly interact there, but that would be rather complex with some unit testing tools, just tick, tcltk, expect, or other stuff, other more modern stuff, or just other shell script and whatnot. Basically, you would need to recognize all this stuff I mean, let's just use this one. Maybe there's would really suck if there. It's like, yeah, would really suck if we have 4 or 5 freaking regressions and memory corruptions. Yeah, so let's optimize this a little bit further, which means also, yeah, obviously I structure this in blocks. So basically, this bisect script thing will probably be my go-to thing to automate this further, because obviously every month we probably have to optimize something. So we probably put all of this bit in some block of if not exists this version. So yeah, this has the ID, right? So if not, oh wait, E and F, is that the same? Maybe dot version dot done or whatever. Then, so like if not exists that, then, oh wait, where are we? All right, we don't have, this is old config. Basically we need to, that sucks a bit. Okay, actually this is the wrong place. Basically we probably need, do they have old config, right? Also drop frames as well. Oh, cool. They have old config, right? Okay. Basically, then we need, would this be, does this have a make target? You would hope so, right? Let's better do that. Maybe old, I'm not sure if old config regenerate is better. Did I somehow? Let's better maybe start from scratch, otherwise not to ruin all this stuff. And yeah, of course, automation, it takes a moment, but from that point it is faster. So old config and that, then extract the version. That probably should be fine, hopefully. And then if not, I hope that's so dot version done or build. Let's just call it done. Then build it. And then at the end touch that, so that saves us if our target machine is not yet ready. Let's see if that works. So evil make kernel release stuff. Where do we have our version 5.17 whatnot? Okay, we are booted. We are ready. So yeah, this is how step by step you further automate this, right? And yeah, kind of thought that theoretically I should have had that already, but also touch that. Okay, that probably looked okay-ish. So yeah, rsync here to the target machine, right? Epic thread wrapping those bits as electrons over the Ethernet cable. RC8. So and then shut down, right? SSH. So we are rebooting, and unfortunately this requires. It would be good if we wouldn't had so whatever boot. That is really unfortunate. What kind of T2 release is that even? T2 2012. Yeah, most likely fixed since then. I mean, I didn't have that on the Ultras. Yeah, I mean, testing, that's what we are for, right? Why do I sit here at night? Because we need to improve things, obviously. So yeah, these are the circles, right? And at least the next time beside YouTube views, hopefully more people subscribe than unsubscribe, so best tell your friends and family, significant other, and all the other good stuff. Maybe create an account for your kitten or dog. or gorilla, bird, rabbit. We take our subscribers. And so we had RC8 00458, that's the right kernel. And so yeah, that also happens sometimes that we don't, so that's another issue that happens rarely, right? So that obviously echo B proc. I mean, I could use the other, but maybe I mean, it probably, what does it use? It's, yeah, it's probably the same as if I would go boot or whatever, but let's see. So yeah, that not really sure why that happens. I also, it's of course, spoiler alert, pro tip, it works the best if the stuff is 100% reproducible. If you work with a partially glitchy system, then it is what it is. I wish this firmware stuff would post a little bit faster, so not really sure. I should check if this saved. I mean, usually the set and stuff should have saved, right? And maybe it is. I'm not really sure if it's that much faster. It doesn't feel the most. So let's boot that again, because we didn't have a conclusive result. But that's also the thing, if you really, really amazingly automate this, why is this QLA not showing up now? Can't make this shit up. Not really sure what's about this UDEF. Maybe that is an issue. What do we... QLA... Maybe that's a UDEF thing now? Why is there... I mean, I saw this initializing netlink circuit. Not really sure what's that about now. I mean, we built and automated this like all the others, so... Okay, these are like thousands of modules. Yeah, that of course truly sucks. I mean, it's like, yeah, this is of course, don't know. Let's see if my other scripting stuff works. So, if not access, so yeah, that works. So that did not rebuild because it's the same version with the same hash. Yeah, in theory, this would be all good now, except, I mean, we should have a result soon. Maybe we would then need to continue with the second bug, but that of course truly sucks. That we now have some kind of thing, some kind of state, some kind of build. I mean, what do bad luck? How much bad luck can you have with bisecting one kernel bug thing? I mean, theoretically you could. How would you further automate this? Of course, using pattern matching, right? So why the freaking heck does this not? I have no idea what glitch that is now. I guess next is the thing, right? Next, let's staging. It's like just rebuild this. I'm not really sure what. Wait, this built next to nothing? Oh, maybe, okay, maybe this didn't do nothing. I wanted, skip, I wanted. Ah, maybe we get bisects. I mean, it is always possible that the stuff I wanted to say it's kernel development. No, that is Linux kernel development, because certainly the BSD don't break that randomly. So it's Linux kernel development. That is, I mean, should we do that once more? Maybe not. Maybe we skipped it, so YOLO, I guess. How to automate this further? You would need to recognize those patterns, right? Of course, you could automate all of this, right? You could either add their predefined sequences of fully booted and stuff, and then give it either a timeout or recognize all the other patterns. You could also sometimes, like if your automation doesn't find one or the other, like just wait or stuff, or print even alert. I did not sure if I no entered map. Even in red, like alert user interaction, like alert Mobox and stuff. Ah, darn, auto loadings. Oh wait, what was it? Where even was the block legacy auto? Oh, that's certainly in page pool state stats. Okay, It's a pity. I should have watched this more closely. I didn't. Yeah. We wasted no minute of not building this. So yeah. Yeah. So the ultra spark is ready, but yeah. So next, leave in the comments below. I mean, also then instead of, I mean, theoretically, it's of course it wastes a little bit of time. I next need to set up network booting the sparks here. It would potentially speed this up slightly more, having this on a network share, and then just, you could even power toggle. You could even, actually the easiest to automate this, and this also you need a developer, you need to think as a developer or product developer or a system designer, architect. Sure, you could also like recognize that or that, but actually the easiest would be setting it up so even power cycle, let it boot with setting this up so that it boots from your network share, and then power cycle have this output, and then give it a timeout of so and so minutes, and then if that line of recognize the stuff there or not, if it's not there bad, if it's there good, that probably should actually, it's actually relatively, it's like, yeah, shall I subscribe? We will probably continue to do that next, and I also need to source a USB switchable power cord. Also, you could on the sparks, I mean on the, as you see, you could actually script a lot on the serial console as long as you have, I mean on a virtualizable Spark Sun 4V, you could fully virtualize that. And of course otherwise QEMU, right? If you have other stuff with QEMU, you could just always launch QEMU, obviously. But yeah, the serial console sometimes gets stuck, right? So if it's too crashed, then controlling the open firmware from the serial line doesn't work anymore. So that's a thing. But otherwise, I mean, we wouldn't need to bother with rsynching, right? So you could just power toggle it, switch it off, have the stuff built when it's ready on the network, switch it on, give it its time. That's probably all we need. So we have 5, 17, 12, whatever. I mean, theoretically, we should be here soon. It's maybe not the most popular time. I mean, it's maybe not even the most. Did we shut down? Hello? Why is this taking? Oh, maybe those. Maybe it flushed the caches. That is a possibility. Yeah, because even power cycling, like if we would further optimize that, we could just power cycle it now and not like have to. I mean, maybe instead of boot, I should. I mean, it's resetting, right? It's probably equivalent in this case, reset all or boot. I was just thinking maybe I should reset all instead of boot, but it's resetting anyway, so it's probably pretty equivalent. Yeah, it is crazy that we. I mean, on one thing, it's as always a double-edged sword, right? On one thing, we get drivers and features for free developed from all the developers, but on the other, they're constantly regressions, right? And as you see, every month, but sometimes every other week, sometimes even every week, just my previous videos, right? 2000% better FS performance regressions we bisected, reported, was fixed due to our work. previously the fiber channel the first time, now the second time. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Hey, this okay. So I mean, why did the previous build not do that? Also, this is no CPU startup entry calling. It's like nah, curl deferred error trap. Nothing like some. That's not good. But I'm not sure. I mean, I would need to run, probably I should run maybe even Solaris, SunOS, maybe just OpenBSD, NetBSD. Maybe I should run them like productively, like a day or week. But what makes me suspicious? I mean, there's surely some Linux bugs, right? I mean, not only the QLogic fiber channel adapter currently doesn't work since 5.17, whatever, release candidate 18. It doesn't boot with 8 gigs of memory, which the BSD do. And also the firmware never has thrown an error, right? All this error glitchiness is only in Linux, right? So I would expect, like, if the system is generally unstable, why did OpenBSD, NetBSD boot without a glitch? Why did the firmware never has thrown an error? Also the bootloader, right? It's not like the bootloader, like neither Zelo nor Grub, I use both of them a little bit off and on. None of them has ever thrown a illegal trap, random corruption, whatever. So there could be more bugs hiding in that. Let's see so this is a cold boot. Let's see if that does not glitch. But yeah, if you constantly change the stuff, it constantly breaks. No surprise there, right? It takes long, that's a good sign. That might be a good one. But there's also a limit of how much I will. Like, yeah, bisect 3 hours. Right. Yeah, okay, this failed already. There is already failed. So if this logout fails, this is already a failed version. Three revisions left. I mean, this documentation that looks silly, but there are other. This is just the middle of doing something, documentation, right? Even so much that these options are changed. So we need to be careful to boot a working version. I mean, you know what, I think I wanted to bring muesli to the office. Like, I really wish I would have some muesli now. Because guess what, after bisecting on and off during my business day and at night, I'm freaking hungry, probably also hydration. I had some muesli in my hand earlier at home, darn it. But I think I have a little bit left over yogurt, if I'm lucky. Because it's freaking past midnight. I wonder when was the last time that Linus Torvalds debugged his hobby kernel after midnight. Let's boot that and grab a yogurt. So what did we... Alright, we're still building, so... It's like this burn notice guy who is always eating. By the way, we could instead, I mean, now we have this safeguard. We could even add a loop around the secure shell. I mean, ideally, also. I mean, this happens sometimes. So yeah, that's obviously. By the way, can we control? Like here, I mean, this of course freaking delays the bisecting, right? This is like due. Thank you. I have a little bit of honey in my natural yogurt that it tastes a little bit more than nothing. Yeah, that is, if you're wondering, it is a bit annoying. I mean, I'm really annoyed, speechless that, but it's a testament of the only constant is change and regressions on Linux kernel, that they broke it a second time, right? Live here on this channel. What did we need to boot the stable one. But maybe Linux does something to the hardware, that this random glitchiness most often appears after a warm reset. Hello, can we have boot? I mean, the last stable kernel, when you cold boot, it works actually. Otherwise, oh, I mistyped it again. You know that it's freaking late when I mistype my, also live on this channel, exposing the full disk encryption passphrase for my system. Oh, darn. Ah, wait, no, this is, I was stupid. This is another bug. I have not yet debugged. Maybe I was. It's getting late, man. But somehow it was stuck anyway. But actually, this always happens. I've not yet this whatever UDEF does there. Some UDEF. Of course, it shouldn't be triggerable from user space, right? It was nearly empty, unfortunately. Okay, it's rebooting. Maybe I'd always cold reboot, so. Alright, also. Did I already? Oh. Yeah, there are quite some bugs and regressions to handle. Yeah, that's basically it for this video. I think it kind of sort of doesn't make the most sense to live stream more of this random bugs. So it's 0.45 already. What did we... Ah, right, we just are into new one. I mean, yeah, on one way we could finish this, on the other this might still be another 30 minutes. I'm kind of torn between I really want sleep and like, yeah, open source developed by overnighters. Login failed. Yeah, okay, this failed already. So one login failed is in spec. Why does this take so long? But when it says mounting it, yeah, it found it already. So that is good. One revision left. Remove initial value of global base TDC. What the heck? I mean, we have one revision left, right? Whatever. It's mind blowing. Okay, this is fully booted. I mean, this is not. So we have one left, right? So, oh, this is actually surprisingly fast. Because now it's now faster because with so few changes, it hopefully didn't rebuild everything. Yeah, I mean, we have one revision left. Of course, we live stream it now. It's, yeah, dedication. Probably some more. Okay, I will survive 5 minutes without some hydration. Yeah, leave in the comments below what you think. What do you think about the ever... comment below. Did bugs and regressions ever hit you with Linux kernel? Are you impressed by this recurring quality? Do you find it is reasonable, professional, or not? Let's try boot this time. I'm not sure which variant here. Maybe I should switch back to self-test stuff, max and not min. This should be one revision, right? Document stable tree links. Let's hope we really get something useful, otherwise I will be really disappointed. I mean, it might be the next revision after that, right? But, I mean, I guess if one revision is left, it should be the next then, but if this documentation thing boots, hopefully it does. So we rsync, and yeah, I always need to be careful what we should boot, so that we rsync this, so that should be the default. So do we have here RC6 0054 AED? It's a good sign that it takes a little bit, I believe. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, mounting. So that's good. Should be. Let's please hope the next. I mean, we skipped one. So that's good. One left. Documentation. Roughly 0, but this is only freaking documentation. I will be really disappointed if... What did I use? I used reboot, right? If this is some random bullshit and not... I mean, yeah, that is the thing, right? With this glitchy system, with other surrounding glitchiness and randomness and imperfections. I probably... How was it? Did I... Or maybe I even intentionally edited the RTCs. Maybe I thought it's better we have the real time. Maybe there was something. Maybe I thought it's better to have the right time. Yeah, otherwise init starts with not the right time. It's probably better to have the RTC drivers in the init RT. Revisions made by blind people resulting in regressions, says Anton. What precisely do you mean by that? Sending all systems init. So yeah, whatever is going on there. Need to. Let's really hope. I mean, whatever it probably, yeah, I mean, if this is some bullshit revision and I need to do it tomorrow again, then I get really bad mood. Please let me go to bed at least knowing which revision is the first bit. Please, let this be conclusive. I mean, it might be just the next after that, before the other revision before that was a little bit nonsensical. I mean, it's a good sign that it takes a bit. I mean, if you're wondering why this is shit so slow, log in fear, so that works. Good. Please, let's... What? Why? Usually it does merge, pull driver core. Here is a set of driver core changes, not much. Here primarily a bunch of cleanups and small updates. this really is a first bed revision. I mean, at least it's changing quite some, but... What, this is a first bed? I can't quite believe it. Pull driver core updates from quick. Oh, firmware loader minor changes. Don't tell me it's loading the firmware broken into it. I mean, it's... I mean, we better test that if this is really not building. Okay, this didn't rebuild shit. So this is now... Yeah, so now we optimize something, and so that's not rebuilt due to our... We had this file. So apparently we really built that previously. Now we waste some time. Outsmarted. Yeah, I mean, the best thing would be... I mean, we could... I mean, there's always a solution for that, right? Well, here are three machines, right? I'm building on a Ryzen 1750X because performance, the only substitute for performance is more performance. And I'm not that crazy. I'm live streaming from a Steam Deck because the Ryzen 1750X with AMD AM5 early platform enabled was also not always the most stable. And had AMD FTPM USB micro latency stuttering. But so to decouple from my Ryzen development server thing, plus we are testing on a dual processor Spark Station Ultra, Sun Ultra Spark, Sunblade 1000 with out of spec updated CPUs. These are 1.2 gigahertz. Officially they're not supported in the, but I didn't install it there before. Like all the breakages due to the CPUs, probably not. Other people have tried it and reported on the internet that it works. And also allegedly the part number for the system board is the same between the Sunblade 1000 and the Sunblade 2000, where these CPUs are supposed to support it. So that's a little bit of Sun's finger move of by a freaking whole new chassis. So this should boot. It booted previously. We just waste our time rebooting stuff that previously did work. So yeah. So we further could improve this scripting here by yeah, mounting. This works. We could save. We could indeed save the image. Oh darn! This also happens at times. Yeah, that's, yeah, so much to something. Something is probably Linux clobbers something on the chipset drivers. This is too reproducible. Cold boot usually works, like usually. After Linux run, sometimes shit happens. Maybe Linux clobbers too many. Sheets. Was it Sheetso? What code name of the chipset thing? So yeah, we could save the initrd and stuff. We could like locally build this, like not like copy those to a version. And then, so then we would have all the build stuff cached. This is really the last reboot. Can this, I mean, while we wait for that, so that is this, did it even, wait a second, did this even check the first, what was, first bed commit, this one, merge, driver core, is this checked out? Maybe that's not even checked out. It wasn't checked out. So let's maybe delete. Actually, you know what? We could also is simple. So you see, there are so many things we could simply remove that and have that rebuilt, right? So basically, yeah, whatever. But keeping this cached would be the best to further speed this up. So unfortunately rebuild this, which really pains me. Page pool stats. I mean, I wonder, was there really nothing in between? But yeah, I mean, yeah, and nobody thanks you, or you don't get a dime from the Linux Foundation. Maybe I should just give up on supporting such exotic machines. I mean, it's not like you would, but I mean, it's often also in general. I mean, it's most likely some general driver bug, unless it's some other memory clobbering or other strange stuff. Oh, did I also mistype this? Cool. Need to be careful not to wipe this. No. Maybe we messed something up. Look, here's some rework fix info leak with DMA from device stuff. Power PC restore removed end of. Yeah. Ah shit, and this failed again. Maybe the machine and the universe wants to tell me go home and get sleep. Yeah, this is really the last. But I mean, I knew it was it. I knew, unfortunately, I knew it will be error prone due to the glitchiness of the surrounding stuff and potentially to independent regressions. It is, yeah, and just yesterday we renewed the HPP kernel significantly, just to find the Spark kernel regressed significantly since 5.18. One step forward, one step back. But I hope so this. But we did fully boot it previously or not? Or did we? I mean, we didn't rebuild that, right? So we are using the same kernel. It should be the last one we tested. I mean, it mounts that also, right? That is all. It finds the fiber channel device. So it's basically all. If you bisect, you need to concentrate on the issue at hand, right? And not like what other random glitchiness. It's like, no, that's not part. If you bisect fiber channels, then everything that counts. I mean, it should work already. I have no idea why this is so slow. I have no idea. Maybe it's. I mean, the fiber channel drive is also failing, but that should not be part of this bisect problems. This one. It's like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, there is something reproducible wrong with whatever. Also, no user space stuff should trigger that. So, I mean, that clearly is some general. Another. So basically, we are dealing with 4 or 5 independent kernel bugs here, right? I mean, we skipped one. I hope that's like. But yeah, we have seen all the changes, right? If you ever change your stuff, then you ever break it. It's probably no surprise for nobody. Somehow it's not the most performant right now. No significant ECC errors, though. Sometimes I... Probably when Linux clobbers, there's some chipset stuff. I have this. After appears to be late for this party here, kind of. One last thing, but I have the impression I have to redo that. I mean, now I have a better script. I could further. I mean, maybe next I set up Sun Spark network booting. I probably should check. Probably should check if those support power over Ethernet. I mean, you would think they should, but you never know what they implemented back in the day. Oh, cool, no, my battery is empty. That's not ideal. You know what, let me plug it into the charger. Now this, should we? I mean, I wonder what happens if we now say git bisect good for a bad commit. No, what's this? This truly is bad. It has this async logout. This clearly is a bad one. It is right, but this clearly is bad. That is true. Just that this is not, I expected a QLogic driver change and not some... This is nuts. This is nuts. Did really... Absolutely nuts. What I wonder, so this should be multiple. I mean, should we not, if we check out that? It just repeated like a papagaya the same right first bit command would be. I mean, it clearly is bad. Head is now at character misc. I said I wanted to go home and then I continue, right? Pin control. I mean, something like that would be more reasonable. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that, by the way, I should see, does it have link? Oh, it has link. At least I thought I have link. So it's this. Yeah, it has link. It would be really interesting to know if we could power it on with Ethernet magic packet just for. I'm shocked that this is. I mean, it could still be in some QLA thing. I mean, what I would have done before Git a decade ago would be to revert the QLA driver changes, right? Now with this fancy modern git bisect stuff, we git bisect and then we get through. I mean, it could that this breaks it. It doesn't look the super most plausible to me. It's crazy. And that's why I dream of my microkernel, right? I want a freaking system that's more stable and constantly broken. I mean, this. Yeah, if you have any, I mean, I'm just double testing here with that, right? If you have any better idea, leave in the comments below. That is 113. Let me just grab, actually we can ARP this. I want to grab 113. Okay, that's the Ethernet address. That's the Ethernet address. Okay, this is shutting down. Wait, what? Oh no, it's not even booted. Good that we double checked that. And this failed, thank you much. Yeah, okay, then we can test now what I wanted to test. Which is so it has link on the switch. Let's see if it. No. It does not start with a regular Ethernet wake magic packet. Maybe you can enable that if you are a Sun Spark, otherwise. Surely they should have documentation for that, right? Sun Spark, Wake, Ethernet. I mean, usually those people probably left the stuff on our server and stuff. Yeah, I want freaking hell. This is internet search and AI so amazing that no, it usually doesn't. I mean, maybe it's never documented. I also didn't. I once was looking, maybe was it the IBM B50, which looked like it could do it, but also doesn't. Where it was even mentioned in some technical manual, but darn. Now we booted the wrong shit. It's better before the Linux kernel does something, it's better reboot. So that's it, the only, like if you auto boot your test kernel, that last one was broken. Yeah, IBM R6000 P50 couldn't. instantly also didn't get it. I think I saw something in the print envelope, potentially, maybe, or somewhere, maybe. I should have wall clock timed whether the self-test from max to min has any impact here on boot time. Let's see if that fully boots. I mean, we didn't have the Linux kernel fully booted. We broke that in Zilo. So let's see if my theory that most likely random corruption or other flunk stuff happened here. But I mean, it also goes further wrong. Okay, that's not ideal. Why does it enter that a second time? That somehow looks like... Oh man. Fail of fails, of unstable fails. I mean, maybe I should simply not use this system, but I mean, there's clearly some kernel regression. It could also, I mean, it would not be the first time that random people find random bugs that just didn't visualize in other mainstream configurations. Yeah, that is so sad and disappointing and frustrating. But to be the other live stream, I wondered, I mean, or even today, is it really worth it? I mean, maybe it's not really worth it, except Guinness World Record filing architecture support. But it's also like nobody would fix it for us, right? Kernel developer would always ask like, yeah, where's the bisect, right? So I don't have high hopes of just reporting this, that anyone ever would look into that. So maybe the best would be to attract more people and have them work on T2. I mean, soon Debian just cancelled and terminated the MIP support, which obviously we still build. So, I mean, attracting more people to more continuously test it certainly would help. I think the new kernels definitely sometimes have this slower, so whatever timeout, synchronization, asynchronous, whatever stuff. Yeah, this time it's more little. So what was it? We wanted to freaking finally rsync this here, right? Which I have rebooted already the third time just to rsync this. It's like, yeah, also you would take this out of the equation, right? I mean, yeah, this, what, we're not fully booted yet, didn't have network link up. So yeah, more of this random glitchiness we would also take, and also like booting 3 times just to rsync the kernel, right? If we would have had network boot set up. So yeah, that would be the next and final step, or not, maybe not final. The next step, the final step would be fully automating this on the serial console, and together with some power cycling thing to reliably be able to reset the target system. And then, I mean, this would certainly rock. Like, we probably shall like subscribe. We will do this next, because this needs to be extremely effing automated. And then it will just sit here and do its number crunching. And after time X will say, okay, that would be. That's also the answer. I mean, should I? Let's boot and see. So it basically also answers my question. I guess the question, instead of giving this nice collection of machines up and have them supported, would be a little bit lame. And I mean, I just in in theory, I enjoy this once, or like this not once, or this sophisticated once high-end systems, still sophisticated, just not high-end anymore. Also, yeah, probably paired with opening a museum, but yeah, probably the answer is even more freaking automated continuous integration stuff, like fully automated. Actually, like, yeah, if it would be fully automated, it's actually the best answer. I mean, probably to everyone, everything. And so far, so good. Don't tell me this really. Are we still? No, this is bad already. Maybe there was some. How was this previously good then? Is this our current revision? And so how can we override this? So much to reset commit. So much to years, it was a fluke. For whatever, I would need to rewind my own git. Head is now at 02 git bisect. You need to start by git. Oh, fuck. Are you kidding me? I just wanted to reset one. Why does this not? Yeah, and that's why I'm not a fan of Git. I mean, you think, I mean, it's already cryptic enough, and then so 02, this is 02, right? Oh, darn it. This sucks now, so this is ridiculous. It's probably what I deserve. I mean, we could check out version 5.17. I mean, maybe we could maybe at least reconstruct some. Ah, this is. Do I still have? I don't have that much scrollback. I mean, I have lots of scrollback, but there's a limit of scrollback. How much do we have between? It's nearly everything we had. Yeah. This is, I mean, that's what I've heard, that it's kind of what's like, I kind of sort of expected. That's unfortunate. Mwop, mwop, mwop. Yeah, I expected this from the beginnings, like, yeah, so much surrounding glitchiness. Not really sure how that happened. Except maybe sometimes it works, like if you boot it often enough, like 4 or 5 times. Share, like, subscribe, Patreon, GoFundMe. This is way too time consuming. DevDuck says maybe ETH2 will show info about wall on this interface. That might be, but that might not be in sync with firmware, right? Remember, the firmware need to also do its stuff. Even if the Linux kernel thinks it might, I mean, the Linux kernel can control something, but if it then doesn't, if the firmware shuts it off, so the Linux kernel can do nothing, right? The Linux kernel might think like, hey, it looked like it might be, I mean, David S. Miller might have added some Spark thing there, but Yeah, so I will probably tomorrow between emails and some other code have to redo that again. Yeah, that's also why you read other people at times have obviously issues like this, and then you read, when other people write on Linux kernel, in all the last evenings of bisecting, I did not yet find a good reproducible thing because everything is so broken, right? There segmentation fault, there it oops, there this doesn't work, there that, and it's like yeah, or there are random corruption and false positives. Yeah, really, really disappointing, right? Probably, yeah, of course, another hour, right? If you think like, the question is, I mean, maybe we can, I could actually potentially check out if we have the last kernel, or maybe we have some in varlog messages, right? We should, everything in varlog messages is what booted if we don't have this in the RTMP, whatever, WRTMP things. There, WTMP log, whatever. You know what I mean? I might be able to reconstruct some. I mean, that's certainly if you don't want to waste an hour or two and precious electrons. So what do we have? Do we have in last with? They're truncated. What do we have in varlog messages? 5. So basically 517. Here we have more. So is that is not, is it? Yeah, thank you very much. Why is this not some? This is there. Yeah, it is what it is. So probably, yeah, would be nice if we would, but we don't. That's unfortunate. That's the obvious thing. I mean, surely there are good reasons for that, but obviously, would have been straightforward thing. So, by the way, did I had S2? Actually, I didn't had that for some reason. Maybe that a while ago didn't build. Did I had? Where's my T2? Check what I needed. It's S2, right? Probably not the best idea to try to emerge that tonight. I give it 2 minutes if it builds in 2 minutes, because the system was also not perfectly stable. So probably there was some kind of regressions previously, because otherwise it would have been installed. Or actually, or it was not part of the minimals. This is potentially part of this 4+ years improving our Linux distribution live on this YouTube channel, right? Maybe I often was missing it and adding, although it is so basic that I would think it should have been in there in the minimal set for years, but maybe it doesn't. But it is also possible that it broke for Spark, right? It's like U31st. I mean, it breaks even here. libmnl, yes, thank you very much. Of course, T2 would, I mean, maybe we should check, maybe we should add really vital, like do you really want to build with all those vital dips? But yeah, actually normally I actually run missing only. Maybe that would have done it in this case, but like, let's see how close our build time estimation is and if it builds. Maybe we're lucky. We can already, yeah. Okay, libmnl. I mean, so yeah, it's not that slow, right? Dual socket, dual processor, dual 1.2 gigahertz. I mean, this was absolutely freaking expensive in state of the art claim. I was like, oh, how much was this even? Played 1,000 press release. What even was the price? Surely 20,000, 30,000. Sun breaks, what? But this truly wasn't the full price. It's impossible. Okay, this build now. So yeah, it's not that bad. Was it I dash? So Sangam, or was it even dash A for all, or is it all? Oops. Unknown parameter. Here's the stuff. Wake on D. What is wake on D? Actually, we have a man page for that, right? Wake on D supposed to be disabled? Wake on nothing? Okay, cool. We want magic packet, right? So how do we vol? Is this vol G? Oh shit. Or is it, what even is the vol G0? Maybe this way? Maybe not. How to set this? But it might be unsupported, right? So vol and whatnot, sdef. Maybe S for set. Change. So S for set, although they call it change. All options only apply if S was specified. In which order is S? Where do they want the interface name? Last S. Oh no, sdef name. Okay, S. Yeah, another case for. Yeah, crazy. Invalid argument. Yeah. So maybe not. I guess that's all then for today, right? Did we do? It's like, yeah, I mean, it must be some, you can't tell me that the system boots and can rsync and build packages mostly after cold boot. I mean, there must be some, maybe even Linux chipset corruption. This is, by the way, where's the PCI chipset? Here is this. Shizu, PCI bus. I'm not saying it's in there, but there must be some. Maybe Linux clobbers too much chipset stuff or whatnot for. But anyway, or this CHMC memory controller. Who knows if that has a driver somewhere. I mean, something clearly is upsetting here something, because otherwise. I mean, this works way too well in between, beside kernel regressions, because so. Anyway, that's it for this live stream video. Way too long, way too late. It would mean a lot if you give it some appreciation, some token of appreciation, some super thanks, channel membership, GitHub sponsor, Patreon, or just share, like, subscribe, tell your friends and family, significant other, subscribe your dog and cat or goldfish. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Have a good day or night, and I hope to see you tomorrow for all the next crazy stuff, and eventually figuring out what freaking breaks here to come. Obviously, for safety reasons, I plug the power cord out there overnight, because I don't need to risk that.